Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. So today I am putting an engine in this 2004 Acura TL. It actually belongs to a viewer who drove a great distance to bring this to me, brought me the car and the engine to do the swap. The car itself, well, let's just say, has had a hard life. I don't often put engines in Acuras. In fact, it's rare. It's not like it doesn't happen, but usually when it does happen, it's a result of, well, neglect or abuse or something like that. And I would say that this one falls under both of those categories. I don't want to say it's wrecked, but it's lived a very hard life. But it's a survivor, I suppose. It has lived this long. It's a 6-speed. So it probably got driven quite a bit in a spirited manner. But here's the thing, I'm going through the job, I'm swapping the engine over, and I'm looking, at the new engine and the old engine, and there was some challenges that came up. There's going to be a video on this, so don't sweat this if this video comes out before the engine videos or this, whatever. So the engine he brought me came out of a vehicle that had an automatic. He has a manual transmission in this, and there's some differences. There's some things that you have to switch over in order to make this happen. Through the process of that, I'm getting a chance to really get intimate with the car and find out, what kind of shape it's in. And honestly, the minute I saw it, I kind of knew the kind of shape it was in. I got a vibe from it. And the vibe was, maybe the owner doesn't care. And maybe I'm off base in saying that because he's probably watching, but that's just how it felt. I mean, you can tell when somebody takes care of their vehicle. And at least me, when I've got a vehicle in like that, I try to go the extra mile. I try to make sure that I maintain that level of care that the owner maintains their vehicle at. And now I'm getting to the point of this video, and that's, at least for me, when I'm doing the work on somebody's vehicle, if I can tell that they're not necessarily taking care of their vehicle like someone would take care of their vehicle, I might not make that extra effort. In fact, I really haven't made a whole lot of extra effort with this. I mean, I skipped steps to where I could have been torquing things, and instead I just ran them down with my impact. Well, and part of that is I'm not getting paid for this job. And, so don't be thinking it's got anything to do with that. There's money on the table. No, I'm doing this to make videos. So I'm good, you're good, everybody's good, he's good. My point is that, I find someone's vehicle, and believe it or not, my Acura Vigor, when that came into the dealership when I used to service that car, that was a pretty well taken care of car, and I took care of it. Even to this day, even though it looks the way it looks, it still runs fantastic, and mechanically it's very sound. There's a few minor issues, but my point is I took extra care of that car, and the owner liked my work so much, actually came back into the dealership and said, hey, I really like what you did to the car. And especially working as a technician, and you're working on cars every day. I mean, if it's your own car, you're going to take care of it like it's your own car. But if you're doing this for a living, of course there's certain expectations that you're going to do good work. But if you get a car in, sort of like this one, I mean, it's got bald tires, it's, once I got the exhaust pipe out, I saw that it had a clogged catalytic converter. One of the catalytic converters didn't have any catalyst in it whatsoever. So somebody's been in there playing, doing stuff. You just look at the intake manifold. It's like the old intake manifold is just full of soot. The new intake manifold off the new engine is nice. And that's not a question of mileage. That's a question of how the thing was taken care of. Like something went wrong in this thing's life, and it just kept going wrong, and it just kept being pushed, and now it needs an engine. And I've talked about this in another video about how personal problems become mechanical problems. And this sort of falls in that category. But what I'm talking about today is how I treat a vehicle when I see that it's something that maybe hasn't been maintained, or just the opposite, that has been maintained. It's just how I go about my repairs, how I go about my work. And my level of caring, my level of effort into those repairs is sort of on a sliding scale. And once again, getting back to that working on vehicles every day, that flat rate thing, especially if you're working in a dealer and you see a lot of the same vehicles, you're just like, okay, well, this one's been taken care of. I'll take care of this one a little bit better. I'll make sure my hands are, I'll make sure I'm clean. Maybe it's a picky customer or whatever, and just make sure that, I leave it the way I got it, or better than the way I got it. Then there's cars like this, where you're just like, I just don't give a crap. I'm gonna put it together, I'm gonna do my job, do it well, but I'm not gonna put forth that extra effort. I'm not gonna go through the trouble of torquing every bolt or making sure everything's perfect and lining everything up just right and going those extra steps. I just don't find myself doing that with vehicles that, to me, don't seem to be respected by their owners. And that's the bottom line. is that's the way this one feels. This one feels like, you know, rode hard, put away wet, I think is a good description. Nothing against the, I mean, you can do whatever you want with your car. It's not up to me to tell you how to treat your vehicle, but I can say that at least for me, and I'm putting this out to the other technicians out there or other people that have worked on other people's cars, and saying, what do you do in those situations? If you see a car that hasn't been taken care of, do you do what you can to try to bring it up to speed, or do you, like me, I'm just looking at it, this is a lost cause. There's going to be no return on my investment of effort by doing something, you know, going above and beyond for this vehicle. On the flip side, some of them you get in, they're cream puffs. They're just beautiful cars, and they're taken care of. You can tell they're loved, and you want to, well, at least me, I want to extend that. So once again, I'm going to put the question to you: when you get something in that you can tell is just unloved, how do you go about it? Do you do it the same all the time, or when something that's loved that comes in, how do you react to that? I mean, what's your approach in those situations? Curious. Eric the Car Guy, also known as ETCG1. Hey, if you have automotive questions, I'd ask that you go to ericthecarguy.com. There's a welcome video there to tell you about stuff to help you. If you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, and now Instagram. ETCG1 videos come out on Mondays, so stop back and see me then if you're into this. Close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.